things aren't going well for the Packers, and it's to the point now. I mean, with 7 losses, you got to pretty much run the table if you're going to make the playoffs in the NFC, and it's very unlikely that they do that. So, what should the Packers do with Aaron Rodgers in 2023? Because of course, if you cut him before June 1st next year, it's like I think it was a $40 million dead cap hit. But if you wait until after June 1st, I think it's only 17 million. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that you cut him per se, but do you entertain trades? Do you try to build around him and hope that he's going to have his head in the game for the next couple of seasons? I mean, what do you do with Aaron Rodgers in 2023?
Well,
You
I mean,
fire the general manager. Um, this is the reason why they're in. First of all, you had arguably the best wide receiver in the game in Devontae Adams, um, and Aaron Rodgers helped create that. Um, part of the reason why he came back to Green Bay because I know he thought that they were going to be able to keep Devontae Adams, and you let him get away. And not only did you let him get away, you let St. Brown get away as well. So those were two of his go-to receivers last season, and you let both of them walk. This general manager that the Packers have right now has made some questionable calls in his tenure, and you give Rodgers one of the biggest contracts in the history of the game, and you take away all of his wide receivers, and he has nothing. He's having to start from scratch, and you see what we saw when Big Ben's receivers, after Brown left and after Bell left. Bell not receiver, running back, but you saw once those two guys left that we kind of had to rebuild a little bit. So you kind of seeing the same thing with Aaron Rodgers, except it's a whole lot worse because he had. I mean, yeah, he's got some guys to throw to, but they're running wrong routes and things of that nature. So with all that being said, you got big decisions to make. But I think the decision that needs to be made is your general manager needs to be let go and get somebody in there that can get some receivers back, add a few defensive pieces and see what you can do with it. But if you cut him, I wouldn't cut him. I would trade him. You had a lot of suitors last year, including the Steelers, looking at trying to get Aaron Rodgers last season. So, you know, wait till after the June 1st and see if you can't. I would actually try to do it after the season is over. I know it'd be a dead cap hit, but you can get some. Might be able to get a first, second round draft pick for him or a couple. One for this year, one for next year, and see what you can do and rebuild your team.
yeah, I mean, that you make some good points, but I think it all started with Rodgers back when they drafted Jordan Love. Um, you
Yeah,
know, I can tell you about bad decisions from a GM. Now, every great accolade Howie Roseman has done in the off season, and even with agents out there in this particular season, he was just on the opposite end of that spectrum when he did all that shit with Chip Kelly and let Chip Kelly destroy a definitely deep in the playoff, probably Super Bowl caliber type team. Um,
right.
but so I done been through that before, but it all started with Jordan Love because it is nothing wrong with picking up Jordan Love, but it was just like when you do make a pick that high, it's like Devontae Adams was there. Of course, he was still coming to his own. It's just like, damn, you don't go ahead and go for the juggler. You got a possibly once in a lifetime quarterback, and you don't go for the juggler. I mean, it's almost like Pete Carroll not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch. I mean, once you make that decision, you forever have that, like, damn, like, nobody can figure it out, and nothing ever gets back on track. I mean, they can say the right things, they can do the right things. Then he kind of been beefing and stuff with the people up front forever behind the scenes. He never really been what you call a locker room type guy, but he plays so good that everybody say, well, fuck it, man. It don't matter. But when they waited too long, or he waited too long to decide, where the minds was going to meet, and they let Devontae Adams slip out the door and didn't go after, like, even now, you know, with of course Odell just a shell of himself from what he was, but like you don't even hear Green Bay talking about Odell. It's like the Cowboys talking about Odell. I'm saying like that's what I'm talking about. They never try to act like they want to actually win the Super Bowl, because for you to be in today's NFL with free agency and you see super teams forming, you know, a couple years ago we saw it with Tampa. Now this year, pretty much everybody's seeing it with us. You know, San Francisco kind of doing some things. You know, we saw what happened with the Rams last year. This is today's NFL, so just that one dude out there, yeah, you're gonna sell tickets. Green Bay never gonna be short of that. So the owners don't feel it like some of the owners in other markets. But you know, I just think that the only silver lining in this is Tom Brady really helped Rodgers out, because an older quarterback that clearly was at the end of his career, walk-in Hall of Famer, blah, 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 basically got the keys to a brand new Cadillac in Tampa that next year none of us saw that shit coming. So I think that same type of thing is out there for Rodgers. However, he just don't have that drive, in my opinion, to just go for a Super Bowl. But I think he would easily, you know, get a job somewhere. Matter of fact, I think a spot they would probably love him in, but believe it or not, it'd probably be LA with the Rams. You know, I know ain't nobody saying that, but I mean, we ain't talking about the Rams or nothing right now. But I mean, Stafford looked like the bullshit that was in Detroit this year. You know, and I don't know what the hell the Jets are doing with Zach Wilson. This is some bitch like he's back in junior high or something. So I'm just saying, so yeah, I mean, Green Bay, they gonna dodge a bullet when it comes to whatever they decide to do with Rodgers, they're not gonna lose financially. Somebody gonna match whatever money they're looking for. But it's just, you know, when you look at it in hindsight, it's like, damn, man, you let a once in a lifetime player in the prime of his career leave out of here with not only one ring, but one Super Bowl appearance. So that's sad.
Yeah.
Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.